So today I'm going to show you some more things to do in Excel, including headers and footers, printing, percentages, these types of things. Okay, so bear with me. So I have my file here, Eric's expenses. Now my Eric's expenses are slightly different from the ones in your exercises, but don't worry about it. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is show you about cell alignment. Alignment means are we aligning to the left side, the right side, in the middle, such like. Okay, so if I go, for instance, column A, if I wanted all of these items to be aligned to the right hand side, I could highlight the entire column by simply sitting on a click and make sure I'm on the home tab up here, the home tab, and I could write a line, and that aligns everything to the right hand side. It doesn't look very nice though actually when it's in writing, so I'm going to keep that to left. Equally, if we were to go to let's see, this column and make it left aligned, you can see as figures this doesn't really work because it's not in line with each other. The 30 here is out of alignment with the 0.00 here and the 30 down here. So it just does not look right. It's not the way that we usually show figures. So finances and figures should always be aligned to the right hand side when you're in a spreadsheet, and the reason is that will make your decimal point line up correctly. So column E for the entire column and right align. Okay, if it was an individual cell that I wanted to do, I could just sit in the individual cell and I could center it, left align it, or right align it as I see fit. Okay, so these are your alignment buttons up here in the alignment tab. And it's the same as what I showed you last week as well. In the annual total, remember that's got wrap text, which means that it makes sure that all the text in that cell appears in that cell and doesn't go out here. Because to take that off, you can see, there we go, that half that text is not appearing. But if we sit in there again, do wrap text, you can see all the text appears, and that just makes it much easier for the reader, for the user, anybody like that. Okay, so that's cell alignment. What else do I want to do? Headers and footers. Okay, so for headers and footers, we need to go into page layout. Page layout. Oh, view, my mistake, view, okay, and then page layout. Page layout, here we go. And add header. And if we come down, we can add a footer down here. Okay, so for the header up here, I can put it in the left section, put it in the middle, or put it in the right. So I could add my name in here. That's it. And if I click out of there, from page layout there, I could also put something in the footer. Let's see, what do I want to put in the footer? And what do I want to put in the footer? I could put today's date, couldn't I? Which is the 7th September 2020. There we go. And from the page layout, I can then go back to my normal layout. And I won't be able to see my header and footer, but when I print, or when I go to print, then it will appear. Okay, it should appear then. So what else do I want to do? Display formula. If I wanted to see what's in these cells here, individually, I can check in the formula bar up here. It says equal sum B4 to E4, so that's telling me that it's summing up B4 all the way along to E4. But if I wanted these formula displayed so I could see them all at once, what I have to do is go to the formula tab and then show formulas, and you can see that's showing me exactly which formulas I have in which area. So that's show formulas. Click on, click off, and that's in the formula tab up here. Now, if I wanted to print my worksheet with the formulas, print option's always in the file tab. So file, print. And we'll see it's only showing quarter 1, 2, and 3. Okay, the page is not wide enough for my formulas to appear correctly, although you can see that I've got my header, my footer in here now. So what I want to do is change from portrait orientation, portrait is up and down orientation, to landscape orientation. So that's landscape orientation, which is across the way. Flips the paper on its side, and I could print that way. Now, you're not going to be printing this semester, but what you will do is pretend to print like this, then take your screen snip, your Windows plus Shift key plus S key, or whatever way you do it on your Mac, and you would snip that. Prove to me that you can print in landscape orientation, you've got your formulas, and you would send that to me in a Word document or at the bottom of your own exercise. Okay, so I'm going to change this back from landscape to portrait at the moment. And we can see here, what I want to show you now is scaling to one page, okay? So fit to one page. So at the moment, I have this document, but it's actually printing on 2 pages, okay? And if I scroll down, you can see there's a second page there, okay? Second page. But if for some reason I didn't want to print this on landscape, but I did want it all to appear in one page, I could do my scaling down here. So in the print options, no scaling, or I can fit the entire sheet on one page, all the columns on one page, or all the rows on one page. So in this case, if I do fit sheet on one page, we'll see what happens. Just trying to access the printer. And I'm not connected. But there we go. We can see Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and annual total. Okay, so we have all of this. Now that wouldn't actually be very nice for me to read. If you were in real life and you were printing this out and giving it to me as your lecturer, I wouldn't be able to read that, trust me, with my glasses. So what I would do is make sure that it's in landscape orientation. The fit sheets to one page are a really useful tool to have if for some reason you maybe have most of your spreadsheet, most of your worksheet on one page, and then just maybe one line, the total line on a second page or something like that. You can use that fit sheet on one page option, and that shrinks it slightly when you're printing it in real life and make sure everything appears on the one page. Okay, but at the moment we're not doing that. Take that off, no scaling. I will leave it in landscape at the moment, and I'm going back to my home tab. I want to take my formulas off, so I'm taking formulas off, and I'm going back to my home tab where most things are. Okay, the final thing I think that I have to show you today is percentages. So if I want to find out what the percentage of travel is compared to the total expenditure overall, I could insert, I could percentage of total expenditure. Okay, remember, wrap text, and that way it appears all in one box. Now, expenditure is too long a word for this column, so in order to widen my column, I come up here, move until I go to the right hand side until I get the little cross, left click and drag it across slightly, and that allows me to widen my column. Okay, I also want to put in borders, so highlight all of these and go back to my border tabs and include all borders in there as well, and that allows it along a little bit. So in order to work out percentage, you take this number here. If I want to find out what 550.86 is as a percentage of the overall total, I would say equals this column, this cell here, 550.86, and I want to divide it by the overall total. That's how I work out a percentage, okay? So if I wanted to find out what 2 is as a percentage of 10, I would say 2 divided by 10. So in order to do division on Excel spreadsheets, we don't have a divide sign on our keyboard, so we use the /. Okay, so it's /, and then I just tell it which cell I want to divide it by. So in this case, down here. And if I press enter, you can see it comes up there. Now that is not a percentage. Okay, 0.44 is not a percentage. It's not displaying as a percentage. So what I would want to do is make sure each of these cells is going to display as a percentage. So I can go in here and I can go to my formatting, my number, cell here, and I can tell it that I want percentage in 2 decimal places. I like percentages in 2 decimal places. Okay, and we can see now we have a percentage, 44.89. Remember, if I want to copy a formula, I can sit in this cell, move to the bottom right-hand corner until I get the little X sign, and then just hold it down, and I could copy that down. Okay. Oh, what's happening now? We've got an accident. Okay, something's happening. The reason that this is coming up as an error is, remember, when we copy formulas down, it automatically changes. This one is F4 divided by F10. This one will be F5 by F11. Then it'll be F6 by F12. So it automatically adds on 1 digit to the cell each time. I don't really, I want this cell here, which is F5, but I still want it divided by F10. Okay, still want it divided by F10. And there's a way I can do that. If I go back to my original cell here, what I can do is by putting a $ in front of the address, a $ in front of the F, and a $ in front of the 10, that makes what we call an absolute cell reference. Okay, it means that cell reference will never change. Okay, it will always use cell F10, and then I can come and I can copy my formulas down, and it works. Okay, and you can see here what I mean. It's saying F5 divided by / divide F10 with the $ signs in front, and again F6 divided by F10, and that's what we call as an absolute cell reference, and it allows you to do certain formula and copy it if you always want something divided by the same. It would be the same if I had a percentage discount over here. Discount was, okay, and let's see, 10% or something like that. If I wanted to put a formula in about working out discount, then I would put my formula in here, and with the cell reference, I would make sure this cell here is J4. So in working out any formulas, I would make sure that I had my $ signs in there. Okay, but we're not doing discount this week. That's it. Okay, so I think that's all you need at the moment. Last week I showed you how to do the expenses chart, and it's a bar chart we're looking for, not a pie chart. So this is what we should end up with, something along this line, although your totals will be different than mine. And that should be it for today. Okay, thank you.